Good afternoon, class. Today we're going to be looking at solving two-step equations, which is from Chapter 13, Lesson 4. I've already listed the steps for you that are on your notes guide, so you have the question, list the steps to solve a two-step equation, and we just need to fill in what our steps are to solve the two-step equation, which is pretty much the same thing as the one-step equations, except you have an extra number in that equation. So our first step is to circle the extra number on the same side of the equation as the variable. So you're still going to split that equation in half and circle that extra number that's on the same side of the equation as the variable. Second step is the inverse operation, or that opposite operation of the number on both sides of the equation. So you're going to do that calculation to get rid of the extra number so that you're left with just the variable with that number with the variable on one side and then another number on the other. Step 3 is to isolate the variable just like we do in one-step equations where we circle it. And then 4, inverse operation of the number with the variable on both sides. That's the same thing as what we did with the single-step equations. We're going to do a couple of examples, and these are the same examples that are on your notes guide that you have for the week. And first, we're going to look at what we have and draw a line. Down the equal sign. So we have 3x plus 10 on one side of the equation and 40 on the other. So we're going to look at what's over here with the variable, which is that x, the letter, and we need to circle the extra number that's kind of out there by itself, which is the 10. And then complete the inverse operation. So if we have add 10, we're going to subtract 10 on both sides of the equation to balance it out. You're left with 3x equals 40 minus 10 is 30. And now you have your one-step equation. So now we're going to look at your 3x equals 30, and you follow the same procedures you did when we did one-step equations. So we look at what's with the letter or variable, which is 3. We want to get rid of that 3. Remember, when you have the letter and the number smushed up together, it means multiplication. So the opposite or inverse is division. You're dividing by 3 on both sides. You're left with x equals 10. Okay, looking at the next example, you have y plus 5 divided by 12 equals 20. So first, we divide our equation in half. We have two sides of the equal sign. We have a y plus 5 here and a 12 here. So we're going to pick the number that's kind of separate from the letter, which this is together. So we're going to look at the 12 first and get rid of that. Since we have division, remember our fraction is division, we need to multiply by 12 to get rid of that over here. We do the same thing over here. That cancels out. You're left with y plus 5 equals 20 times 12. That's 240. So now we have y plus 5 equals 240, which is our single-step equation. We're going to get rid of what's over here with the y. So minus 5, do the opposite operation on both sides of the equation. That cancels out. We're left with y equals 235. We're going to do a few more examples. Example 3, 22z minus 13 equals 163. So we're looking at the side that has the letter, which is the z. We have minus 13, which is that extra number we want to get rid of first. So we're going to add 13. That cancels out. You're left with 22z equals 176. Whoops. Oops, I put 167. Then we have 22z equals 176. So we want to get rid of this 22. We have this smushed up together, which means multiplication, so we divide on both sides. And you're left with 22 goes into 176. Eight times. So z equals 8. Our last example that we're going to do is a divided by 5 plus 3 equals 7. So our first number we want to get rid of is that plus 3. So we have a divided by 5 that are kind of together. This is just sitting out here to the side. We want to get rid of that first. So we subtract 3. You're left with a divided by 5 equals 4. Now we have our single step equation. So we have a divided by 5. We want to get rid of the 5. We multiply by 5 since that's the inverse operation on both sides of the equation. And we're left with a equals 20. Okay, tomorrow we are going to work on some more of these in class. We will be doing some that have some decimals involved also. So tomorrow when you come into class, we'll go over all of these, answer any questions that you have, and complete some more problems.